Ohio State had a situation last year where they looked loaded at running back. Then injuries happen, as is the case sometimes in college football, and they were tested by injury. Luckily, they had C.J. Stroud. They had what they have this year, a loaded wide receiver room, so it wasn't the end of the world. However, they don't have C.J. Stroud this year. All eyes are on the quarterback battle up there, but that's why it's a big deal that Travion Henderson's good to go, Mayan Williams is good to go, Evan Pryor, good to go. Need to keep them healthy because there could very well be a case there, just like there could be a case at Bama, just like early on Penn State could have to really lean on their stable of running backs until they ultimately sort of get the quarterback position up to whatever cruising altitude is going to be. That is a group in that Ohio State running back room that when they're healthy should be able to take over games, should be able to. Now, when they start scrimmaging up there, what you want to listen for over on Bucknuts, for example, you want to listen for how that offensive line held up. Did they control the line of scrimmage? Because they're playing against one of the best defensive fronts they'll play against all year in practice. So how are they controlling the line of scrimmage? Are they able to effectively run the ball? Is ball control an issue? Is pass pro an issue? Because that's going to determine who's on the field. And ultimately, you never know, man. You never know. If you go to Notre Dame early in the season and it's just a dogfight of a game and whoever's starting for you, Kyle McCord, let's say, starting a quarterback, it's a bunch of 3-and-outs early. You can't find your rhythm. It's approaching halftime. You've run 17 total plays, and you just got to start pounding it. Can you do it? Can you go on the road and win games running the ball? That's what to watch there. Also, JTT, defensively, looking a lot better, consistently looking a lot better probably than a year ago. Next up, been really interested in this quarterback position, this quarterback battle, not a controversy, a battle at UCLA. And Ethan Garbers has been there a while. He transferred from Washington back in 2021, so he's been there. He's a redshirt junior. He's been in Chip Kelly's system, and sort of the default thinking has been, okay, Dante Moore's the 5-star true freshman. Maybe he wins the job. If he doesn't, you can fall back on Garbers, and Colin Schlee's also a transfer there. So basically, good talent and good insurance. You can always tell who's running with the ones with Chip Kelly by who's wearing the helmet cam, because they've got a quarterback wearing a helmet cam in practice. Ethan Garbers is wearing the helmet cam. And so Ethan Garbers, we believe, would start for them if they had to play a football game today. Now, there's also been bubbling just beneath the surface some really hot rumors, dare I say innuendo in rumors, about Dante Moore and whether he's happy at UCLA and whether there's an NIL issue. All I can do is go on the man's word. And Dante Moore says, nothing to it. I'm ready to go. Let's play ball. And so with that in mind, I don't think this is decided. Far from over. So Ethan Garbers right now, QB1. Those transfer wide receivers, though, J. Michael Sturdivant, big-time impact guy, hopefully for them. Kyle Ford, big-time impact guy, hopefully for them. They're relying on transfers a lot. It could be a good team. Could be a really good team. There's a lot of could be. It's the first and second week of August. A lot of could be right now. What about Minnesota? You know what we did 2 weeks ago? We went up to Indianapolis. We sat down with PJ Fleck, and he was ultra excited about his team, and there's a good reason. But first, we got to figure out who's starting at quarterback for him. Now, I'm going to take this nice and slow. Immunity. Athan, not Ethan, Athan Kaliakmanis is my best guess on the pronunciation of the last name right now. That's a redshirt sophomore quarterback for them. Looks like he's going to be their starter. Cole Kramer's up there as well. This is not decided yet, but it looks like Athan Kaliakmanis is going to be the starter there. Now, he played last year. Like, he had a very, very subpar performance statistically against Penn State, but he was 19 of 29, 319 through the air, 2 touchdowns against Wisconsin. Producer Jesse and I watched some of that game today. And flashes, really flashes that hopefully you would see become consistent performance this year. So Minnesota, they're going to be a player up there in the West. Pretty much everyone is. Keep an eye on that quarterback race. At Clemson, I've been very interested in Peter Woods. Peter Woods was a 5-star defensive lineman out of the Birmingham area that they just flat out beat Alabama for. And he's already working in there 2 deep on the defensive line. Now, that's not shocking because he's a talented kid who's walking into a position room where they just lost 3 premier guys to the NFL draft. So my question with him and with Clemson, which we're going to talk about a lot later on, is not do they have talent there. It's never about that. They're going to have names. A program of that stature is always going to have names you remember from recruiting. But names does not always equal depth. They've got to have proven guys. They got to have guys prove themselves, rather. And Peter Woods, even though he's a true freshman, he's going to have to be a key player, at least in terms of depth providing on this team this year. That's a team that is the preseason favorite to win the conference. They got to have guys like him step up. It's not the most ideal situation, but that's the way college football works. Boston College, A.J. Black over at EagleInsider.com, talking about the offensive line. They never had the same 5 starters on the offensive line last year at Boston College. Do you realize that? So quantum improvement for them throughout at least part of fall camp so far. And, man, people forget about programs like Boston College. The other thing is Zay Flowers, whatever role he played in the offense, Ryan O'Keefe is a wide receiver to keep an eye on with Boston College. And A.J. Black and the guys over at EagleInsider.com do a good job on them. Virginia Tech, I wanted to talk to you for just a second. Evan Watkins over at VTScoop.com does a great job for us covering Virginia Tech. Nothing on the quarterback battle up there yet. But the wide receiver room had to be overhauled. And it looks much better through a few practices. They got 3 transfers running out there. They got a true freshman running out there. And, prayers emoji that wide receiver room looks a whole lot better this year. Wake Forest, bad news. Donovan Green would have been their top overall receiver this year. It looks like he's out 3 to 5 months with a knee injury. So there's a lot going on, folks. A lot going on. That is camp intel, the way camp intel should be delivered.